everybody. It's me, Timmy Flyers Guy. I want to do this. I want to do this video, and this video pertains to the Philadelphia Flyers, the Lehigh Valley fans, and the Reading Royals as they continue to push for a playoff spot. They all have a very important games tonight. And I want to discuss the chances of all three teams and their postseason push right now. Philadelphia Flyers, this season, it was a roller coaster of emotions this season. Flyers had a really good first half of the season. They won their last win. It was in January. The first win they got in the second half of the season was a win against the Edmonton Oilers. Then they played the Anaheim Ducks, beat the Anaheim Ducks at home. Then they had games against Tampa Bay Lightning. And those two games really turned things around in a negative way for the Philadelphia Flyers, as they lost both of those games in Philadelphia. And then the losses, the injuries piled up, and the losses started to pile up. Flyers were beaten by the New York Rangers at home. And then a week later, they go to Vegas. They beat the Vegas Golden Knights. Then they go to Utah, and they had that game. But a third period collapse cost them a victory against Utah. Then after that, they had a game against a very good Colorado Avalanche team. They beat the Colorado Avalanche 7-3. They come back home, get shut out by the New York Islanders. And that's when the questions about this team started surfacing. And there was a lot going on. People were blaming the coach. People were blaming Matthew Nieshov. It was a mess. And in February, the losses started to come in February as well. They lost to the Blue Jackets in the game the Flyers had. And then they lose to the Bruins in Boston. They get beat by the Pittsburgh Penguins. They get beat by the Rangers. They get beat by Buffalo. Knock on off the Flyers. But I don't know when it happened for this team. But things started to really turn around in late February, going into March. Right now, the Flyers actually have a chance to do it this time. Last season, they didn't even come close. Season before that, they had a chance, but they blew it. They lost those games in March, lost those games in April, and that cost them that cost them big. This season, in games that they should be winning, they're winning those games. Well, not all of them, but they're winning those games. In the 2023-2024 season, the Flyers were not winning games in the month of March. They were losing games in March. Now, they're actually winning games in March. But the thing is, I feel like the position of Flyers that they're in right now, it kind of reminds me of the position they were in the 2018-2019 season. And that makes me nervous because the Flyers had a chance that year to get in the playoffs. But a loss to the Islanders in regulation, not just in Long Island, but a game that they had to win. At home, they lost that game. At home, both games, the Flyers were playing good hockey. Then all of a sudden, something in those two games happened. The Islanders won, and the Flyers were not in a playoff contention. They were mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Mathematically and realistically eliminated from the playoffs that year. We'll get into the postseason. So the Flyers really want to do this. They have to give everything they got. They have to use their ability, not just their ability, but it's all about intelligence. The Flyers right now have to play smart hockey. They have to play intelligent 60-minute hockey if they want to win these games. Tonight they got the Red Wings tonight. Then I got the Dallas Stars tomorrow. That's going to be a tough game. And then they don't play until Thursday. And they'll play against this Sam Detroit Red Wings team on Thursday, and then they will have a mashup against a team that the Flyers have had trouble with when the Flyers are trying to push for a playoff spot. The Islanders dashed the dreams of the Philadelphia Flyers in 2019. So that could be a problem for the Flyers. But Flyers they really have to go on a tear. Not only do the Flyers have to win tonight, but the Islanders have to lose to the Panthers. Capitals have to lose to the Golden Knights. And that's what Flyers have to do right now. They have to win tonight. No questions asked. They have to win tomorrow as well. They have to win. On Thursday, they have to win. On Friday. These games are going to be big for the Philadelphia Flyers. They're going to be huge. They have, like I said, they have to play intelligent 60-minute hockey. There's no two ways about it. They have to stay disciplined. They have to stay focused. There's no questions about it. They have to do this. They need to win tonight. They need to win tomorrow. These games are big. And the Flyers have to take advantage of these opportunities if they want to get into the postseason this year. It's 5 years since this team got into the playoffs. Right now, it's now or never for the Philadelphia Flyers. They'll do everything they can to keep their playoff hopes alive. And it starts with tonight. As for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, it's been a bit of a role reversal for the Philadelphia Flyers and the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. When the Flyers were losing games, the Lehigh Valley Phantoms were winning games. Now, The Flyers have been winning games. And then we have Harry Phantoms have been losing games where it matters. Their inconsistency in third periods have cost them victories. And I think Tulsa can be a good goalie, but I have some things that I have to say about Tulsa. I've been noticing Tulsa is not a big goalie at all. And what I've been seeing is Tulsa, I feel like there's a lot in net to shoot at because Tulsa, he's a very undersized goaltender. And the thing is, he doesn't really have a lot of net to cover because of his size. And I've been noticing when goals have been scored against Kolosov, it's always on a wide open area whenever he's in net. The Artisan hasn't played great. I think the Artisan, I think he's going to be the guy. I really do. I think he's a much better goalie than Kolosov. I really think Kolosov I think he really needs to put on a little more weight so he can cover more net. I think Kolosov, I think he really needs to bulk up as a goaltender. I think his problem is that he's not a small goalie. He's a very small goalie. And I've been noticing big goalies in the NHL have been successful. Goalies like a lot of goalies and big goalies have been successful. Dan Vladar is a big goalie. He's been playing great. And I think the Flyers have had some better luck with bigger goalies. Kolosov, when he played in Philly this year, he played one game in Philly, maybe a couple of games in Philly. One of the games he played was against the New York Rangers, and he did not do well. He was pulled in the first period. That's how bad he did. I don't think Kolosov is ready. I'm not saying that Kolosov is a bad goalie. There is still room for improvement for Alexei Kolosov. I think he's capable of improving himself. I really do. But he's not the guy right now. He's not the guy that the Flyers are looking for yet. Not just yet. So the fans really need to be more consistent in third period because they've been having a really tough time in third periods. And it's been a problem for this team. It's been a big problem for the Phantoms right now. They're in 6th place in their division, still just trying to find their way into the postseason, but inconsistency is going to be their Achilles heel. If they don't make the playoffs, that's going to be the big reason that they don't make the playoffs. Inconsistency in third periods. Now, the Reading Royals, they're pushing to get into the playoffs as well. And they've been playing great. The goaltending has been really good for the Reading Royals. Yogi Fritz and Keith Petrozelli have been playing great. Hunter Johannes has been playing great. Mikhail Robidoux had a goal last night. Connor McMiniman, he's playing great. Brent Decision, Carson Golder, they're all playing great. The power play has been looking much better for the Reading Royals. And all around, they look like a really good team. Like a really capable hockey team. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what all three of these teams do to get into the playoffs. Like I said, Flyers should make it. There's a possibility they might not make it. But there's still hope that the Flyers could get into the playoffs. If not, we could be having an entirely different conversation come next week about the Flyers, depending on what happens tonight. And I will, depending on what happens, I could either be watching Flyers hockey, Phantoms hockey, and Reading Royals hockey, depending on what the Phantoms do, and depending on what the Royals do, and also depending on what the Flyers should do. It would be fun to see all three teams make the playoffs. And here's my theory. Depending on what happens, I could either be wearing a Flyers t-shirt, Phantoms t-shirt, or a Royals t-shirt, depending on what happens. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to be upset if the Flyers don't make the playoffs. I really like the fact that this team is actually trying to get into the playoffs. Last season, I don't think they had a chance last season. Season before that, they had a chance, but they had an absolute collapse in March that year. Flyers have to do everything they can to win. It's nice that they're able to win on the road, but the Flyers, if they really want to get into the postseason, they not only have to win these games on the road, but they also have to utilize their home ice advantage. They have to take advantage of the home ice. They have to feed off of the home crowd to get their victories. And they're going to have to do that. That is important. Being on the road is nice. Most importantly, you have to win games in front of your hometown. That's just how it has to go if the Flyers want to get into the postseason. Well, that's all I gotta say. The Flyers don't make the playoffs. I could either be watching Lehigh Valley Phantoms playoff hockey, Reading Royals hockey. Depending on the outcome, if the Flyers win, then there's a possibility that I could be watching Flyers playoff hockey for the first time since 2018. Technically since 2020, but if you're talking about playoff hockey in front of a home crowd, then you're talking about 2018. So, like I said, depending on the outcome, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'll catch you guys later.